Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD, Travelsthenix, and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, I just wanted to get back on the topic of living your life on code. Before we get into the specifics of the topic, if you guys are new to the channel and you're interested in travel, fitness, and overall growth content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get updated every time I drop new content. Now let's get back into the video. So today's video, I want to chop it up about living your life on code and making sure that you have a code of conduct and making sure you stick to it. And specifically in this video, I'm talking to black men in America, at least. And just something that I noticed is something that we do often as a group. Not saying every single black man does this, but being too thirsty. And when you see another man, you see another brother at that, walking with his woman, and you giving his woman way too much attention to the point where it's at a disrespectful level. It's like the way I process that in my head is almost like you see the dude and you see that he's fucking with her, and that almost validates the broad that he's with. And that's like such a disgusting and such a backwards way of thinking. Like, honestly, that's the way that broads think. That's literally the way that women think. So if you're the type of dude who sees another brother walking down the street with his woman, and you getting all googly-eyed over his woman to the point where you can't even control yourself, and it's to a disrespectful level, and you thinking like a broad. That's point blank. You thinking like a female. You know what I mean? And to be completely honest, most of the time, when this happens, or most of the time when I see this, it's always when it's a group of dudes. It's always a group of dudes. It's always a group of dudes who are like gawking at dude's female while he's walking with her. And it's almost like you wouldn't have the audacity to do that if you was by yourself, or be that disrespectful when you by yourself. But you got the audacity to be that disrespectful when you're in a group setting. That's a coward move. Because if you living by the code, you ain't interested in another man's woman. That's always off limits. At the end of the day, it's like, it's so many different women out here that you can holler at, but you choose to not even holler at the broad. You just choose to just be super disrespectful. And it's just a problem that I notice amongst us as black men. And it's just another example of how we disrespect each other and how we just don't have any respect for one another. And we gotta definitely start respecting each other more in order to succeed. If we don't got no respect for one another, how the hell is anybody else gonna have respect for us? You know what I mean? We always is asking for equality from all these other demographics, but at the end of the day, if we don't respect each other and we don't respect one another, why would anybody else respect us if we don't respect ourselves? Oh yeah, one more thing when it comes down to dudes gawking at somebody else's woman while they walking with them and being disrespectful. It's like most dudes in general nowadays is too scared to go up and talk to a woman. You know what I mean? They only use dating apps, and they only use the internet or sliding bras DMs or whatever that may be. They don't even got the balls to actually go up and talk to a female in real life, but you go and disrespect another brother while he's with his female and gawk at his broad and look, you know what I mean? And you know, I noticed this from the time when I was really young, when I was a lot younger, and anytime I'll be with my girl, or anytime I'll be with another friend who will be with his girl or something, like, actually most of the time if it's more than one dude and the female, they ain't gonna do it, because like I said, it's a coward move for a group of dudes to be gawking at one female anyways while he's with his girl. You can look at it from a biblical sense, or you can just look at it from a respect sense, that you're not going to disrespect somebody in front of their woman by gawking at her, just making it obvious that you're giving her attention. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like, what exactly are you trying to gain from the situation anyway? Let's just say, for instance, that you're not with a group of dudes and that you end up knocking somebody else's broad, that you end up knocking somebody else's female, right? So you knock his female. At the end of the day, you doing him a favor, because at the end of the day, that female wasn't even loyal to begin with. What does anybody want with a disloyal asshole? Don't nobody want a disloyal asshole. For me personally, if you knock my broad, you did me a favor, because the broad wasn't loyal to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you stuck with her. You the one who got the broad now. And you could say most dudes, oh, you could say the dude might not be taking her serious, but most of the time when I see somebody try to knock somebody else's broad, they end up taking her serious. And at the end of the day, you're gonna end up losing them how you get them. If you end up stealing a girl from somebody else, you're gonna end up losing her by somebody else stealing from you. Because you know why? Because the broad was never loyal to begin with. She ain't got no loyalty in her blood. So, and at the end of the day, that just contributes to this simp culture that we have. You know what I mean? This is another aspect of the simp culture, where you put women on such a pedestal that you disrespect another brother just to get with a female. You know what I mean? That's just simp shit all the way around. But that's pretty much all I wanted to speak on in terms of that topic. Man, I'm gonna probably have some more videos I'm gonna put out in terms of just the simp culture and the fact that we just need to get more on code as men in the society anyways, and we need to start having more respect for ourselves anyways, but especially us black men, because we're the ones who are the most marginalized in this society. So if you want equality, which, you know what I mean, which is, to me, is just some fallacy anyways, there ain't no such thing as equality. So you're not gonna get equality, especially not by begging for it. You know what I mean? But if you want to be treated with more respect, I say that you got to start living your life with more respect and start living your life on code, and then people will treat you with more respect. Because for me personally, I get treated with respect for the most part everywhere I go in this world, and it's because I give respect and I get respect back. You know what I mean? I live my life by a certain code, and you can ask any of my homeboys, I live my life on a certain code. You can ask anybody who's around me. You can ask my parents, do I live my life by a certain code? My parents even be thinking I'm tripping sometimes, but at the end of the day, this is the shit that I believe in, and I'm gonna stand by it. You know what I mean? But all that simp shit, all that, you know what I mean, putting the pussy on a pedestal and all that shit, man, that shit's gotta stop. That shit's gotta stop, dude. It's got to the point where it's just sick, dude. It's sick. And that's just one aspect of how us as black men need to start respecting one another. You know what I mean? There's all other different types of aspects that goes into that too. We could talk about the music, all the disrespect that we, you know what I mean, all the disrespect that goes on in the hip-hop music, or even if you want to go to the street shit, we killing each other at such high rates. You know what I mean? We are in control of that. We're in control of whether we are put violence upon another black man. You know what I mean? We're in control of all that. We're in control of whether we go after somebody else's woman. We're in control of whether we backstab somebody. We're in control of whether, if we're in a high position at a corporation or a job, that we try to get another brother on. We're in control of the fact that if we got some game to give, we give the game to the younger brothers. That's what we're in control of. So to me, this is just one aspect of a bigger problem, but it's something that I just noticed and I've been noticing lately. And the thing about it is for me personally, I've been noticing it out here in Hawaii. So this is something that I don't really even have to deal with too much, because it's not really that many black people in Hawaii anyways. But when I do see black people in Hawaii, a lot of times I see this type of behavior, which is crazy. Because at the end of the day, it's like, for me, living in Hawaii as a black dude, it's like anytime I see other black people, anytime I see other black people, the first thing that pops in my head is to say what's up and show some respect to some other black people that I see. But that's obviously not the way that a lot of black people feel here in Hawaii, and I think that's a huge problem out here, to be honest with you, because most of the black people I see out here won't even say what's up to you. It's like, dude, when I go someplace where it's not that many black people, every time I see another brother, I'm gonna give him the nod. You know what I mean? That's just the way that I was raised. That's where I come from. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm from the Bay Area. Even in the Bay, where it is a good amount of black people, if you're in Oakland, Richmond, where else, Vallejo, all these different places, if you walk by somebody, it's just respectful to look at them. If you're gonna look at them, you better give them a nod or something and keep it moving. You know what I mean? If you're gonna look. But at the end of the day, you out here, it's not even really no static between black people like that, like it is in the Bay Area. So it's no reason to try to act overly hard or try to act like that you don't want to show some love to somebody, especially in a place like Hawaii, dude. We in paradise. So that's just one thing that I wanted to chop it up with today. And it's not anything too specific that happened to me, but I've had different incidences in Hawaii like that. But like I said, back to the whole thing about simping and showing too much attention to somebody else's woman. If you can knock my broad, then you can have her. You know what I mean? And that goes for any woman I've ever had. And I ain't never had none of my broads ever got knocked by nobody else. But like I said, you can have her if you can actually knock her from me. And you doing me a favor, because the broad was never loyal to begin with. You can have a disloyal ass broad. You can take that off my hands. I'm not tripping, because I go get me one that's better than that. But like I said, stop with the simp shit. Show each other respect. And this doesn't just go for black men with other black men. This goes for black people with black people. This goes for any other race people with any other race people. And this just goes for black people and anybody in the world. We got to show respect to get respect. And that's something that I firmly believe in. It's just like the golden rule. You want to treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? And it's gonna cause a way less static, and everything's gonna be copacetic. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say today. I just wanted to get that shit off my chest, just on the strength that I've been seeing a lot of bullshit, not even just in Hawaii, but just online. Because you know what I mean? I'm not really even connected to a lot of the shit that goes on, just because I'm kind of isolated. I'm out on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so I'm kind of isolated from a lot of the stuff that's going on the mainland or just in society in general, because this is almost like I'm living in a little bubble out here. But I get my news and I get my information from different sources on the mainland, or I get my information off, maybe sometimes I peep game on what's going on Instagram every once in a while, or I peep game on what's going on YouTube, or I chop it up with some of my homies back in the Bay, or I chop it up with my homeboys back in the mainland in general, some other part of the United States, and they'll let me know what's going on out there. But from what I'm seeing with a lot of black dudes is a lot of female ass behavior. And this is just, actually, I'm not even just gonna put it on black dudes, but from what I'm seeing from men in general in the United States is I'm seeing a bunch of weak ass, just hoe ass behavior, and a bunch of people who don't have no code of conduct and ain't living by no type of standards. So you gotta hold yourself to a certain standard, hold the people around you to a certain type of standard. You gotta live to it by a code of conduct and hold yourself to it. You know what I mean? Because the way I came up, it wasn't even, you know what I mean? None of this shit was even tolerated. You know what I mean? All this simp ass shit, dude, and all this Instagram, everybody leaving all these comments, sliding in broads, DMs and shit. It's like, dude, go knock a broad in real life. You know what I mean? I ain't never had no relationship with no girl that I done met on the internet. Go meet a broad in the middle of the street. Go walk down the street and go pop at a bitch. You know what I mean? That's how I came up. You have to actually open up and use your mouthpiece to get a female, not type on the fucking keyboard or type on your cell phone to go knock a broad off of a DM or swiping right on Tinder and all that old bullshit. You gonna meet a bunch of low quality ass broads on Tinder, a bunch of low quality ass broads on Instagram. Any broad who's gonna meet up with somebody off of Instagram or off Tinder anyways, you gotta just, I mean, not saying that it's not something that most people don't do nowadays. It's not like I've never been on Tinder, but shit, every time I've been on Tinder, shit is just for some hookups. That's all Tinder is to me, and that's all Instagram will be either. It's just some hookup shit. You just hit up a broad and see what's good. But if you actually talking about being on some serious shit, that takes some mouthpiece and that takes some chemistry. And the mouthpiece and chemistry comes in real life, not on the keyboard and not on the internet. But this is just, I will put this in, I'll put this under one of them "Are You a Simp" series that I got on my channel, because this goes into the "Are you a simp" shit. Because at the end of the day, if you a dude who's being all disrespectful to another dude in front of his female, that's some simp shit. Sliding in broads DMs and writing all types of shit on their Instagram profile or Facebook or whatever everybody's using nowadays, Snapchat, all that shit, and all that Tinder shit, is a lot of that shit is simping too. All that little internet bullshit is some simping shit. Go ahead and grow you a pair and go holler at a bitch in real life. You know what I mean? Go pop at a female in real life, and then you'll see that the tables is going to be in reverse. Because when you get at a female on the internet and you get at a female on Tinder, or you get at a female on the Instagram or social media, the woman is always going to be in control of that situation, because there's a million dudes trying to holler at the broad on the internet. Because it don't take no balls, it don't take a man to go holler at a broad on the internet. But if you actually talk to a female in real life, most dudes don't even have the courage to go speak to anybody. Most people in general are scared to speaking to people in real life nowadays. That's why people have been conditioned to just strictly live on their phones or strictly live on the internet, all that type of shit. So if you have the charisma to go talk to somebody in person and actually spit game at a female in person, the tables are turning. You have the power, because the girl already knows that you somebody who has confidence and you have qualities about yourself that most men don't have nowadays, because they're too scared to talk to you in person. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got to say for today. Got a little, I was having a conversation with one of my homeboys about this earlier in the day. As a matter of fact, he got a channel too. I'm gonna put the link in the description for my homeboy's channel. His name is GK on YouTube. So I'm gonna put the link in the description for his channel. My homeboy just got out of prison, and he's basically started a channel to talk about how you can get your life together once you get out of prison, and also the type of things that you can be doing to be proactive before you actually go into prison. So this is a niche subject, and I know a lot of people that might be on my channel might not have, you know what I mean, this might not have anything to do with your life, but you might know somebody who might have just got out of prison, or you might know somebody who might have been in prison or is going to go into prison, and you might want to share his information with them. Anyways, the link to his shit is going to be in the description. And me and my homeboy G, as a matter of fact, whenever I talk about me chopping it up with some of my homeboys or whatever, 8 times out of 10 is going to be him, because that's my ace. So me and him chop it up on game like this on a regular basis in terms of code of conduct, you know what I mean, the proper ways to move around in this society, and this, that, and the other. But anyways, y'all, I'll holler at you guys later. I hope everybody's having a good week, a good Sunday. I hope everybody had a good week. Today is Sunday right now. I'm making this video. I just got finished running the stairs, getting a little cardio in on Sundays. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.